Hey everyone, so we have some exciting news. If you're a rail fan, you may have already heard the news, but if you're not a rail fan, we got some exciting news to share with you. And it's something I would really recommend seeing because this is something that is not seen very often. So if you live on the west and east coast, you're gonna get a special treat this year. The West Coast is gonna get it first. The world's largest operational steam locomotive is going to be doing a coast-to-coast tour starting this month, March 29th, and ending in April. Now, this announcement was made by the Union Pacific Railroad, and they announced that Union Pacific's Big Boy number 4014 will travel on a coast-to-coast tour from March 29th to April, starting with the western leg. So that's the western leg portion is from March 29th to April. The eastern leg portion will be from May 25th to Independence Day. So Union Pacific is doing this coast-to-coast tour to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. And as I mentioned, the locomotive is scheduled to reach Philadelphia by July 4th, 2026, Independence Day. The first part of the tour is going to be the western leg, which, as I mentioned, will start March 29th and end in April. So the tour begins March 29th, 2026, departing Cheyenne, Wyoming for a 4-week trip to California and back, returning on April 24th. So there will be a short break, and then the train will depart Cheyenne, Wyoming again on May 25th, Memorial Day, and head toward the East Coast. The first time ever that Union Pacific Big Boy number 4014 will be making a journey to the East Coast. According to the detailed route announcement from March 20th, 2026, that was yesterday, the train will run from Chicago, Illinois to Buffalo, New York via the former Nickel Plate line, and then follow the former Erie, Lackawanna, and Conrail line. That's the Southern Tier route to Binghamton, New York. That's the Southern Tier line. That's owned by Norfolk Southern. Before heading to Scranton, Pennsylvania. So on the western leg, the train will use Union Pacific trackage. So it'll run its own tracks, but on the eastern leg, the train will run on Norfolk Southern trackage. So it'll run on a company that Union Pacific is merging with, because the Norfolk Southern Railroad and Union Pacific Railroad are both merging. They're in merger talks right now, but it has not been approved yet, and that's one of the reasons why Big Boy 4014 is going to be using Norfolk Southern tracks to get to the East Coast and head down to Philadelphia. So after Scranton, the tour will proceed to Philadelphia for Independence Day celebrations. The return leg from Philadelphia will follow the former Pennsylvania Railroad main line through Altoona on Horseshoe Curve. So it will travel down Horseshoe Curve on its return trip to Cheyenne. And it will go to Cleveland and back to Chicago. So the Big Boy will be accompanied by 3 specific commemorative diesel locomotives. So there will be 3 commemorative diesel locomotives on this coast-to-coast tour. And those locomotives are number 1616, which honors President Abraham Lincoln, who founded Union Pacific in 1862. Number 4547 honors Donald J. Trump, featuring a white livery with gold lettering and a flag design. And number 1776 named America 250, paying tribute to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And Union Pacific CEO Jim Vena made a statement. He described the tour as a monumental and historical movement for the nation's 250th birthday. He emphasized celebration in history. We will celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary by bringing out Big Boy number 4014 to make history on its first ever coast-to-coast tour. Community and innovation, he noted that the tour honors the legacy of innovation and provides an opportunity for employees and families to celebrate where we came from and where we are headed. In complexity, Vena acknowledged that coordinating a steam engine of this size across the country is a little complicated, but ultimately real cool. Now, I should mention that for the eastern leg of the Coast to Coast tour, Big Boy 4014 will travel across the Genesee River Gorge at Letchworth State Park in Portageville, New York. But here's some advice as a rail fan. I've been doing rail fanning for a long time, and as someone who's rail fanned for a long time and filming trains, it is highly recommended that you do not go to Letchworth State Park that day. You are not going to get good video footage of the train going across the bridge. There's going to be some big traffic jams. There's going to be a whole crowd of people there. It's going to be extremely busy, and there's going to be some big police precincts there because Letchworth State Park is a major tourist location, and the bridge is one of the most popular spots at the park. Now, the last train that crossed the Genesee River Gorge was in 2015, and that was Nickel Plate Road 765. Now, places I would recommend going to take footage of the train on the Southern Tier Line. I know the Southern Tier Line. I've rail fanned there a lot. I filmed there a lot. I've been to several locations on the Southern Tier Line at different railroad crossings and filmed Norfolk Southern trains going by. Gotten some great video footage of them. I would recommend locations in Dalton, New York, Cuba, New York, because the tracks go right through the village of Cuba. There's also a bridge that crosses over the main road of Cuba, and there's a few railroad crossings there too. There's a few railroad crossings in the countryside like Swain, New York, and Canaseraga, New York. Those are good locations. So places where there's not really going to be a lot of people, and there's not necessarily a lot of popularity. You can still get the great scenery there at the crossings, but it wouldn't really be as good as at Letchworth. I plan to go to a railroad crossing to film this train because I missed Nickel Plate Road 765 a few years ago. I was not able to get 765 in 2015 because I was not available that day, unfortunately. And it's a great opportunity for me to film a steam train going through New York State. So, going through the Southern Tier route of New York State. And you can find updates on the Union Pacific website. And I will keep you all updated when the eastern leg is finalized, which should be the middle of April to early May. Now, one thing that I should also mention, Union Pacific also mentioned this. Please stay off the ballast and off the tracks. It is very important. You do not want to be trespassing because the tracks are highly active. There's trains that are running continuously 24/7 on that line, so they are highly active. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and turn on that notifications bell. See you in the next one.